Hello and happy Sunday to everybody.
Happy Sunday, everyone.
Hey. Hi. Welcome back to Girls Gabbin. Today is actually March 10th. And we are celebrating Women's History Month all month. But actually the theme for Girls Gabbin this month is the wonderment of the woman. Because we are amazing creatures and doing amazing things. So all month long, we have wonderful women coming on to just shine the light on what they're doing and what's going on in their world. Last week, we actually had some trailblazers come and join us. We had Sylvia Tremore Morrison, who is the first female black impressionist. And we're going to definitely have her come back on because she got started. She brought Whoopi Goldberg and Dionne Warwick to. It was they were having a little argument or something going on, but they got along at the end, right? And we had Martine Brown, who actually was one of the models for Wilhelmine modeling agency back when Amon was in the with them, and she has some amazing creations that she has jumpsuits that you can wear any kind of way. So she rocked her jumpsuit in there. I'm going to get one, but it won't look like it did on her. But
absolutely, yeah. It is a wrap. So
yeah, it's a wrap. You can do all kinds of things with it. And we also had Millie McGee, who actually is an author, but she actually wrote a book recently. She was on Great Day, Washington, and she wrote a book explaining how she is that J. Edgar Hoover is one of her ancestors, which was a real controversial thing. So we didn't get to pull her in like we wanted to, but we're going to definitely bring her back. But that is a interesting book, but she's suggesting a lot of things which people didn't know, and she's saying that's my relative. So back in the day, I think they shared that she couldn't really share that information because that wasn't a good thing. So that was a really exciting show, some true trailblazers. But this week we decided to make it about media and music. And we brought some powerhouses in the studio today. We also have a powerhouse calling on the phone. So we have our own little, Black Girls Rock right here in the studio with Girls Gabbin. That's right. So we wanted to, Andrea, was there anything going on this week that you wanted to share?
Just like she stated, we all know Black Girls Rock is in Tampa. We are having our own version. We're just in celebration continuously of National Women's Month. And as we continue to go through each and every Sunday on our particular platform, we are dedicating it to women doing so much in the community, in the industry. You beautiful ladies being in media and music, for example, just coming out and sharing with us who you are as a woman and just expounding off of that. So we're super excited about having you.
Yes, indeed.
And we're looking forward to the rest of the month.
And I'm going to do a quick shout out because my husband and my son are on the road back to UMES. And my son turned 20 yesterday.
All right. Happy birthday.
So I want to make sure they stay safe on the road. And yes, he did have us at the flight trampoline park yesterday. So there is some blackmail video on of two grown people over 50 jumping up and down, but it was hilarious. So I'm in a little pain myself, but I'm faking it right now.
I feel your pain.
Yes.
But I'm sure it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. The kids were showing us how to get it done, but at 20 years old I was like, really, this is what we want to do. But
well, there we go.
Well, we have our first caller on the line. So we're going to answer.
Jeannie, are you there?
Yes, it's Jeannie Jones.
All right, Jeannie.
Hi, Jeannie. Well, Jeannie, we're going to actually start off with you because we don't know if maybe you have some things going on today that you got to get back to, but we would love for you to stay and join us once we finish. As we go through the show. So please stay on if you can. But I'm actually going to introduce you first, and then you're going to tell us about what's going on with you. And we have some ladies in the studio with us that I'm sure would love to say hello and questions or whatever. So let me introduce you first. I want to introduce you to an award-winning journalist, media personality, actress, producer, director, and brand architect. She has a multimedia firm based in Los Angeles, Ready, Set, Impact, which specializes in music, film, radio production, publishing, social media marketing, branding, and casting. Ready, Set, Impact is also responsible for producing her syndicated entertainment report, 60 Seconds in Hollywood, and the PBS documentary, Our Children Are in Pain. The Washington Post actually called her the Oprah in training. You may know her from co-hosting the Russ Parr Morning Show on Radio 1 and hosting Love Talk on WPGC 95.5. She's also done the entertainment morning show for Donnie Simpson, and she's done voiceovers for WNBA, spokesperson for several corporations including Apple, Coca-Cola, MAC Cosmetics, and the list goes on. She has co-hosted on WTTG Fox 5 Morning Show and the American Idol Matter segment. She is currently starring in the upcoming series, This Eddie Murphy Role Is Mine, Not Yours, Season 2, and as well as other projects. Please welcome Miss Jeannie Jones.
Yes.
It's you.
Happy Women's Month to us and to everybody in the studio, even though I celebrate us all day, every day.
I know that's
right. I know that's right. Well, Jeannie, can you share with us, because you're all the way in LA, right?
Yes, but I always represent this consulate in my Washington, D.C., DMV area as well forever. I mean, we get a love thing that won't stop, so I'm bi-coastal, and that's all I ever ask God to do, so that I can bridge the gap between my city, Washington, D.C., and Hollywood. What's happening?
Okay, so look, we're going to pretend like we're in LA with you right now. I've never been there before, so tell us what's going on there. You have so many things going on. Why don't you share with us a little bit about what you have going on?
Well, currently, just so much, of course, radio is in my blood, and I will always do that. So radio, TV, I'm always in that capacity somehow, consistently developing several artists, whether they're on this upcoming season of American Idol or Jeannie Challenge, 4 series also on Fox. And on the film side, there's a couple of things. One, you mentioned producing as well as starring in the project that you mentioned with also DC native, Emmy-nominated actor, Melvin Jackson.
Yes, Mr. Jackson.
Wow.
Of course, you've always been brilliant since the beginning of time, in front of the camera, on the mic, but I've always been clear, as long as I've been doing media, that we know we need to be in producing and executive producer positions, and that's been the problem. So we're making sure that we are creating content, working with distribution, and just more ownership 24/7. So that's one aspect. I'm hosting music for several projects, from Netflix to other independent streaming outlets, along with another project from Lionsgate, and also bringing to the DMV to Hollywood a new series coming up. I will be doing a casting call that I will let you guys know about. We'd love to have you there. I will be looking for some more amazing talent that we probably have in DC, but they don't have the proper outlet or the resources to compete on the level that I know we deserve. So I'm looking for artists, actors, and comedians/hosts. So just looking for the brightest, brilliant people who are ready to work and win. So that's what meaningfully going on.
Okay. Well, I don't know about acting, but I'll try.
Do something new.
I'll try. We had some people who will be in line, so.
Yes.
So what is the Eddie Murphy
series?
What
is that all about?
What is what about?
Eddie Murphy.
The Eddie Murphy.
What's amazing about that series is a comedic series, a drama comedic series, again, by our own DC Emmy-nominated actor who created that series. That is a serious time on everything that Eddie Murphy has gone through, but putting another level of comedic spin on, because he's definitely a legend, and of course we're getting ready for that Coming to America, part 2. I hope they don't mess that up. I don't know if we need to mess with that anyway.
Right.
So let's see what happens with that. But Delta Jackson created that series. He did part 1. Actually, his part 1 is what got him the Emmy nomination. So
right.
I was so blessed and fortunate when he said, Ray, I need you in this project, and also, brought me aboard as a producer. So I mean, what can a girl ask for? So that's what's about really funny. Really, really funny. So of course, you guys will get the first video of that when that premiere happens. And he actually, it's about creating. We always talk about what we want to do, what has to make it happen. And because he did the first series, he just also recently got cast and it ran on the Real that was last week. They do a celebrity series every Sunday, and he actually played the role of Eddie Murphy last Sunday on the Real Network about the life of Eddie Murphy. So, I mean, when we go up in the universe, I mean, like, you just gotta go down, and that's what we're doing.
Right. You are making your mark in a major way from the DMV all the way to LA. Across the globe.
That's right.
That's right. So why don't you tell us where we can find out about the movie and all the things that you are involved in, so people can stay in touch, and we will definitely on our page share everything you have.
I will be putting everything for you guys. You can stay interactive with me on all social media platforms at the Jeannie Show. That's TheJeanniShow. So just say Jeannie, not Jenny, like Jeannie, like Granted.
Now I wanted to ask you real quick, do you miss your tag name was Kitty in the City here, right?
Oh no, that trademark is me 24/7 all day every day.
I know that. I know that's right, no matter where you are.
So that brand is bigger than me. People still address me on a daily basis as Miss Meow, hey Kitty in the City. No. That'll never die. That also, Kitty in the City, like I said, my city continues to support Chloe up in DC, and that is my alter ego, which will also do its own brand, get ready to do its own line with cosmetics and merchandise, and also creating a children's series and books to help children know that there's a bigger world than just their block. So
right.
The children's line will educate children about taking trips around the world from where they are, from reading to being interactive online. So Kitty in the City brings its own food.
I know that's right. Well, we want you to stay on if you can, and stay involved in the show. And we're going to actually introduce our next guest. So stay on the line if you can, please. But we were actually wanting to introduce. I'll start off with, we have Pink Polish in the house. We actually have 2 members of Pink Polish. But let me give you a little background on the group, and then we're going to go into the 2 members that joined us, and they can shout out Pam and give a little background on her. But Pink Polish is a powerhouse group that is a dynamic funk and soul trio. It consists of 3 members. We have Pam Ward, Alisha Glover, and Shuga Shang. And they are in the house with us today. They each stand tall in their own right as solo artists, songwriters, band members, authors, poets, and so much more. In 2018, they released their debut original single, "Do What I Gotta Do," which is available in all media outlets all over the world. But let me give you a little background on the members. We have the epitome of elegance, who is none other than Miss Shuga Shang.
Shuga Shang!
Who has been singing since she was 4 years old.
Okay.
She has opened for The Temptations, Shaka Khan, Jennifer Holliday, and so many other amazing talents. And she has a debut CD titled Beautiful. And that is available on iTunes and many other places. We also have Miss Alisha Glover, who has been coined with the title Divine Muse.
Yes.
By some. She's a Seattle native. And Alisha has been singing since the age of 6. So you all just came out and started singing. She has a multi-octave range that comparably emulates that of the late Minnie Riperton. Alisha has opened for 702, Jeff Majors, CeCe Peniston, Regina Bell, and so many more. Alisha has also appeared on Showtime at the Apollo.
Wow.
Yes. How long ago was that?
I want to go back and find that show. She became an international recording artist with her debut single, Brother Sister, which is currently available on download on all online stores all around the world. Please welcome Shuga, Shang, and Alisha Gabbin of Pink Pipers.
We want to shout out Pammy Pam Ward. She is actually doing Black Girls Rock tonight.
So 2 out of 3
Yeah. And it's funny that you the Showtime at the Apollo. I was with Pam.
Okay. Really?
That was back in 2000. We were part of another project way back when, and we were on the Apollo.
We're going to have to look that up.
Yeah, I'm going to look that
Can
one.
we
I want to see
YouTube or
it. Is it
Google
on
that?
YouTube?
I don't know.
Okay, we're going to have to check it out.
It might be. It was back in 2000.
I'm going to look it up and send it to you.
Yeah. We're going to check that out. So why don't you ladies tell us a little bit about Pink Polish and also about yourselves and what you have going on?
Because I want to know how you all came up with the
I
name.
was getting ready to say that. I know
That's that we always ask. So we were like, what are we gonna call ourselves? We were the Pink Polka Dots.
Right. Yes. It was crazy.
We knew we wanted pink because we're girls.
Okay.
And then we have a charity that we like to breast cancer wellness charity.
Okay.
So we knew we wanted the pink. But that second thing, we just could not figure out what we wanted to be.
All kinds of names.
So she came up with, well, we said polish.
Okay.
But then she came up with the spelling of it, and you can tell me how you came up with the spelling of it.
The acronym, so it's PA. A lot of people think it's PO, but it's PA for Pam, LI for Alisha, and SH for Shang.
And every other letter is capital and
Yes.
pick that up.
we see what
you did there.
Yes, it's people say palish.
Oh my gosh.
Pink palish, pink polish, and you politely say it's polish.
You know we want to do something different with a name, right?
We sure do.
Very unique.
Yeah,
So we've been singing together. Well, singing for a long time. We've always was in the same circle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we rarely sang together.
Okay.
So we got together in
maybe 2013.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have always sang with each other and for each other since I came along in the 90s.
Yep.
So
wow.
and we all did the same karaoke circuit, doing these little. I mean, we have been in some places, doing some things, and so we know a lot of the same people, and we have a lot of the same following that we had back then when we were singing with different groups and singing as individuals are still following us now collectively.
That's wonderful.
Which is amazing. So the power of relationship is just amazing. People will actually support you when you're doing well and you're trying to move forward and do and actually do something. So so I think we finally came together, the three of us, maybe 2013 around.
Okay.
And they came together on the Colony South.
Yes.
Really? That was the first time?
Southern Maryland, Colony.
Yes. That wasn't on a karaoke night, was it?
No. No. Was it, who had a show?
I think we crashed somebody's gig. We had Pam and I were on a gig, and I think we came and crashed you at the Colony South.
At the Colony South. I think I was singing
That's
at the Colony
sweet.
South.
Okay.
Yeah. That's sweet.
And the connection was just like bam. And we were like,
that's awesome.
So do you remember what you were singing together for the first time?
Probably Ain't Nobody.
It was. It was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have heard you all together and individually, and I think you all did. You sang with Art Sherrod, the jazz musician, and then you've done some tributes. You all have been both at what is the club in I forgot. Down in Bethesda, yes. So you all have been all over the place.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It really is. The journey is amazing. It's like, okay, where can we go next? And what can we do next?
Right.
You know, what door can we bust open next, or what avenue can we travel next, or what box can we step out of next? What crazy thing can we do next?
Love it.
I can imagine.
It's amazing.
So you said Pam, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Pam is at the Black Girls Rock. Is she performing, or she just...
She's singing.
Yeah,
she's one of the background singers.
Okay.
For all the groups.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we actually got the call to do it with her.
Well, then I gotta say we are actually very blessed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I don't know that we could. Yeah.
Thank
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Y'all can go ahead and say tonight, right? You can go ahead and say.
I know. I was like, I know they're gonna give us a verse.
Give us something.
It's a verse.
You're gonna miss that tonight.
Well, you know, but these are the things. Doing things like this, being able to show up. Which is the beauty of having a group, you know, and a group of independent artists, all three of us, you know, who can very well represent the group and fairly, because we're friends as well, and fairly represent each other in the arena of what it is that we do, and still be able to, you know, fulfill another request. So it's a beautiful thing. So, you know, no, we couldn't do it, but we're still doing something for the project.
Yes,
that is awesome.
Because Black Girls Rock everywhere.
Every day. And Pam told me, I talked to her last night. She says, I have to pack my pink polished bag and take it with me to Black Girls. I said, yes, girl, take your bag with you. Take your bag with you.
So shout out to Black Girls Rock. Yes, and doing an amazing thing. But because I know it went on all weekend. So it's I will add that I spoke with Nonchalant earlier. She's actually at Black Girls Rock as well. She will be singing her 5 o'clock in the morning, she said. So I told her we would shout her out. Because I was telling her with everyone we had on the show today, I was like, you need to be here today. So she's passing out hugs to everybody from there. But yes, we are spreading it out. So we got 2 of y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Thanks for having us.
So before we leave, y'all gonna give us a little something.
We'll do background for you. We'll do background.
I heard you sing it earlier.
I know.
So,
Michel got some woo.
So tell us about where we can find your CDs and the things that the projects that you're working on.
Also, if y'all are going on tour anytime soon, or anything like that, let us know so we can follow you.
So we are working on our debut CD / EP. The single is actually released. We actually have quite a few of the songs finished. We're just in the phase of mixing and mastering and getting that finished. And so we're pretty excited about that. We have some originals. Actually, Shang and I both participated in writing on some of the originals. I don't know, did Pam write any?
Not yet.
I'm not, okay. And then we also chose to include on the EP, since we are a brand of brands, Pink Polish is a brand of brands. And so we also decided to include songs that we have done as independent artists, independent of Pink Polish.
Nice.
So, you know, there'll be one song from each of us on that as well, and collectively with some originals from the group collectively.
Nice.
So we're hoping to have that completed by this summer.
Oh.
Yes. And then we have June the 2nd.
Oh, wow. That's coming up.
That's like, we're having a fundraiser for our project. And we have a couple of special guests that's going to be appearing. Mr. Brian Lanier will be there.
Oh my God!
Yes.
I love Brian. And
Yes.
that's a special guest we can't say. We're going to keep him as a special guest.
Okay, that means we need to come. So
You need to come.
where's he gonna be?
June
We can't
2nd.
get low.
It's
Make sure you send that since there's so many changes in the music industry, definitely get licensed and you publishing deals up, and that's where the money is. I mean, all you all need to get this thing with all these film television shows and streaming platforms. So I'll be looking out for it.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Put your
Absolutely.
bags together, ladies.
Okay. I like that.
Securities bag.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, so where will we be?
Where will you be?
We'll be at Magoobies in Timonium. It's a Magoobies joke house.
Magoobies?
Mm-hmm.
Is that in Baltimore?
It's in Timonium.
Timonium. Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Roger Harris. Shout out to Mr. Roger Harris.
Charm
from
City Jazz.
Okay.
Hey, Roger.
Hey, Roger.
June 2nd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the warm weather and everything.
Yes. So that means everybody's going to come out.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely.
Especially after this winter.
I
Yes.
know, right?
Is it still winter? It's still winter?
Well, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can get tickets at www.pinkpolish.com.
And that's Pink Polish spelled how?
Right.
P-A-L-I-S-H.
We're going to have to get a jingle.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
We did get a jingle.
Yeah, we are. And our music, you can find it on all of the digital media outlets.
Okay.
YouTube, we have a YouTube channel, and we are at Pink Polish on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. We're Pink Polish on Facebook. And info at pinkpolish.com if you want to contact any of us. And again, our website, www.pinkpolish.com.
Okay.
Love it.
Shout out to Miss Nicole, too.
Oh,
our
yes.
assistant.
Nicole Smith, our assistant.
Okay.
She
I
has
know
been
y'all
a
keep her
huge
busy.
help.
Yes.
Yes. She's been,
I
yeah.
know you all keep it big. And of course, we want to know how to get in touch with you on your personal projects as well. So let us know how to reach you on social media, follow you, and everything.
So I am sugarchainmusic.net. Sugar Shang, Facebook, Sugar Shang Music, Instagram, Sugar Shang Music, everything.
Sugar Shang.
Just look up Sugar Shang.
Yes.
Sugar Shang.
Sugar Shang.
And does Sugarlicious Entertainment do anything else outside of just your singing, or
Well, she has a host of other things that she does. I love to decorate. I love to plan. So I do a lot of event planning.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of decorating. Like I gotta have bling in my life.
Yes.
Yeah, so I try to bling everything out.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yes. I made me a pair of boots. I have boots for our show that we had at Maryland Live.
Okay.
I was determined to make these high boots. I got up at 8 o'clock in the morning.
And you blinged them out.
I blinged them out and wore them jokers on stage that
know
night.
that.
I love to decorate and I'm very crafty, so I do a lot of that. And I also background coordinating.
Okay.
I try to I have a couple of young people that are wanting to get into the singing business.
Okay.
Trying to coach a little bit, but
Yeah,
we'll see how that
girl.
happens.
Keep on working with them.
Yeah.
Keep on working with them.
Yeah.
And Miss Alisha, your name ain't G.
AG. My government name. You can find me at www.alishaglover.com. And that's ALISHA. And I am NTD, as in note the difference, NTD_Alisha on Twitter, Instagram. I'm Alisha NTD Glover on Facebook. I think I'm Alisha NTD Glover on LinkedIn.
Okay.
What are those other?
Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah, NTD_.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
You find one, you find them all.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Absolutely.
So,
You
that's
do
wonderful.
vocal coordination too.
I do vocal coordination. I'm also a life coach. So I do life coach, empowerment coaching. I have a love for people and the wellness and the overall well-being of people, and that stemmed out of going through a season of overcoming.
Mm-hmm.
And so that has placed me in an arena of coaching, transformational coaching, emotional intelligence, training. I do public speaking. My last engagement was I spoke at a commencement to an amazing group of 18 to 24-year-olds. And there's 2 books that I co-authored.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked about the story in the first book, and it was about just dealing with some of the issues of low self-esteem,
Mm-hmm.
some of the issues of abuse,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things that we don't talk about in our community, and a lot of times, we're told not to talk about these things and kind of keep it shut up. And to speak to so many people, not only the young people, but to hear some of the staff afterwards and talk about, girl, you were right up my alley, or, we're told not to talk about these things. So to be able to share the story, just to ignite the release of whatever it is that somebody has been dealing with in somebody else because they have, you know, because they were trained or they chose or they made a decision, you know, to bottle it up. You know, I really thrive off of the empowerment of people.
And they need it, especially
Yeah.
that age group.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So, okay, but we're going to circle back around and get some
Yeah, 'cause we need
tunes
to
or something.
Y'all
Y'all
think about it.
need something.
Back around. But y'all think about it.
But we're going to keep sharing the shine.
Keep on sharing this shine as we go right into Mrs. Michel Wright. Michel Wright is an award-winning media personality based in Washington, D.C. She hosts the popular weeknight show, The Sweet Spot, on Sirius XM, and is also the voice of their classical musical channel, Symphony Hall. Michel is also the signature voice on the national syndicated show, Cafe Mocha Radio, and additionally serves as the lifestyle host for their digital series. Her voiceover work has been heard on BET, TV One, HBO, Showtime TV, and more. She has created content and served as producer, host for CBS Radio, Westwood One, Viacom, AOL, MHZ Networks, and Sirius XM. Michel is currently co-host and producer of the popular district cable network show, The 202. She won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Interview with the legendary group BBD. Michel has been recognized by the D.C. City Council for her years of service and commitment to the Washington, D.C. community. She's received the Capital Cadillac Standard of Living Award, the Woman of Prince George's Community Outreach Award, a Media Innovator Award, Billboard Pro, and a NATOA Award for Excellence. She currently serves on the board of the Peggy Beatrice Foundation. I introduce to you all Miss Michel Wright.
Can't get no better. 5 o'clock in the morning, we gonna be outside on the corner, together.
That's y'all intro.
I was expecting some music, and I had that nonchalant in my head as soon as you mentioned That's my girl. I was like, oh, I'd love to hear that song. I was about to pull it up on YouTube.
That's a good idea.
I'll be in the car playing it.
How y'all doing?
Good.
It's great to be here because you're all ladies. It's International Women's Month, and I am about supporting people, supporting women, especially. People always ask, what business are you in, you know, when you go to these conventions or you go, you know, to these events and whatever. I say I'm in the people business because that's how I look at it.
Right.
Even though I'm in the audio entertainment business, that's what we call it now more than radio, because we are audio entertainers. I say I'm in the people business because to me that's the key to life, people. People.
Absolutely.
And communication, which you all do so well.
Well, we hope so. We hope so.
Absolutely. I knew there was going to be some energy in the room when she said Michelle was coming. I was like,
I can't help it. I can't. It's a part of me, you know. It's a part of me.
And she gave the energy back. She was like, I would love to be there. It's going to be lots of fun. Okay, well, you come on in the house. So you currently co-host and produce the district cable network show, The 202. What's that about?
The 202 is all about the 202. I rep my city. I stand up for my city. I put on for my city.
That's right.
I put on for my city. So, you know, I've been doing radio for a long time, and I remember when I was doing radio in New York in the mid-'90s, and when I came back a little bit later in the '90s, that's when I got to work with actually Jeannie and Justine doing Love Talk and Slow Jams at WPGC, which is legendary station in Washington. It's in the nation's capital. But I've been doing a lot of radio over the years in different formats, and you grow out of the hip hop format, which PGC mostly was for the young. You know, once you hit 40, you know, they want to move you on. And so you better be prepared. But one of the wonderful things I would love to share is that when I was at PGC, I was always, even as a kid, fascinated about technology. It just fascinated me, blew my mind. So when I heard about this satellite radio and this new thing, I remember talking about it with some of my colleagues, and they were like, oh, satellite radio is never going to amount to anything. And I was like, no, but I'm fascinated by this thing. So I had this friend who was already over at Sirius XM Radio, and every day, Monday through Friday, I would work 10 a.m. till 2 or 3 p.m. at PGC, and I would leave, I would drive into DC to the Sirius XM studios, which is at Eckington Place, across from that Wendy's at New York Avenue, and I would go to sit with my friend, and he was live across the nation via satellite, which it was like, again, I was like trying to comprehend and take all this in. And I would sit with him, and I'd bust up in the studio. He'd go, yo, my friend Michel Wright is here. Michel, what's happening? I was like, don't ask me, let me tell you. And I would start talking about all the entertainment news and whatever. And his program director at the time, a guy named Vic Clemens, he said, who is that girl? Do you think she'd want to work here? And I was like, hell yeah, right? And so I got it in my mind. I said, this is a different thing. And I already mentioned to my boss at PGC, he was like, satellite radio is nothing, it's never going to be anything. So I said, they don't care about it. So at the time, they wanted me to be under contract at Sirius XM. At the time, it was just XM. We hadn't merged with Sirius, which was in New York. And I said, okay, I'm going to sign the contract because I don't think they care about satellite radio, and I'm not going to tell them until after we do it. And so I signed the contract because I'm more of those forgive me and not ask for permission first, because they will always tell you no. Right. So I signed the contract, and in the evening and at night, I would go over and work on satellite radio and weekends, right? I was doing like a little bit here and there and whatever. And I remember after because I consulted with my agency at the time, the Bulk Gold agency in New York, and they said, get through your 90 days, just get through your 90 days. On the 91st day, I went and had a meeting with my bosses at PGC, and I said, listen, I'm doing the satellite radio thing. And my boss, his name Jay at the time, he said, you can't do that. And I was like, I think I can. And so then he went and they checked, and he was like, oh, we think she can. And so I did. And I said, this is the most fascinating thing, and this feels so good, and I felt empowered as a woman that I pulled something off.
Right.
And so I said, no matter what I do in radio, in entertainment, in television, I'm going to stay at XM no matter what.
Okay.
And so I would always pray. I'm very prayerful and spiritual and grounded. And I said, no matter what happens, I just want to be here. So when they announced the merger, I was terrified because I said, oh, I'm one of the newest people here because a lot of these people were here for years before whatever. And somehow after the merger, they kept me. So when it became Sirius XM, I was still there.
That's right.
Yes.
And, you know, so again, I've been there ever since, but I love Sirius XM. I love that we just acquired Pandora Radio. So now we're one big company. We are the largest audio entertainment platform in the world. And we're going to do all kinds of new things, podcasts and things like that. But with Sirius XM, I love that we can take chances, take risks, and do things that terrestrial radio is unable to. The other day, we had Robin Thicke over. We have a glass enclosed performance studio, and he was on a promo tour, and also here for his birthday. We had a brunch for him on Saturday. And they said, he's just going to stop by. He's doing all the radio. He's not going to sing. And so the engineer, we got this idea. I said, well, let's set up the interview in front of the Baby Grand. So they put the Baby Grand there. They put me next to him, and as a musician, also, I was like, he's not gonna be able to resist getting on the piano. So I invited some of my friends. Jermaine is here. He came and had some other people because I'm doing this thing that I will tell you about called Hers Days, where I'm celebrating women. I want to talk to each of you and put you on the series. But I'm there talking to Robin and got him to sing. And I even sat next to him, and I said, let's sing together. And I went, woo, woo. And he busted out laughing. You know, but those kinds of things you cannot do on terrestrial radio. So I would not leave Sirius XM until, I just wouldn't leave it. I'm never going to leave it. I love it.
You better not.
That's right. So anyway, real quick, so with the 202 is, I was doing radio and I was making some transitions, and Director Gates called me and she said, we're coming up with this show and we think you'd be perfect for it. We have this guy who's one of our supervisory producers. His name is Furman Patterson, and he's looking for a female co-host, someone who kind of has a vibe, but just a couple of different things. And she says, I think you fit that. So I went over to the studios, which we acquired the former campus of BET. So those are the studios that the city that they bought.
Wow.
And so we got all that technology, all the equipment, all the space, and the soundstage. And so I went over to meet Furman Patterson, and it was like this room of producers, and we ended up doing what we're doing now. We ended up cracking up, laughing. I'm like singing songs, and then they were like, "Okay, you got the job." I was like, so then we had a production schedule, and they said the show was all about showcasing Washington, D.C. So we do things like restaurant events, like there's something called the Grammys, which is the restaurant Grammys. And they have the Grammy Awards every year in June, but they have the nominations, a big ceremony. You know the Hamilton restaurant in D.C.?
Yes.
They have it in the performance space downstairs.
Right.
So they have all these restaurants all around, and you're eating all night, and you're drinking all these drinks, and they got the DJ and the music, and they announce who's nominated for a Grammy for the big. So that's tomorrow night. That things like my show covers.
Yeah.
So the 202 will be there covering that.
Nice.
And then we also, have in-studio guests. We've had everybody from, we had a jam session with Backyard that was killing. We even had George Clinton. We've had Kenny Lattimore, Kevin Ross. We've had so many wonderful people. So we have talent. It's set up like the Today Show, kind of. It's like a DC version of the Today Show. We have an amazing set with beautiful white leather swivel chairs and black sofas, and it's really it's sexy. It's sexy. So anyway, the 202 is all just about representing DC, and we have a partnership with RCN Cable. So in California, in Chicago, in New York, in Atlanta, and Philadelphia, people see the show, and it makes them hopefully interested in coming to DC.
Wow. That is a good thing.
That is awesome.
So I'm sorry, you asked me, I'm almost.
And in your hometown. I mean, you were born and raised here, right?
Well, I was raised here.
Raised here. Okay.
Yeah, I claim it.
Yes.
I'm in DC, damn it.
I know. Look, people get mad at me. I talk about DC because I graduated from H.D. Woodson Senior High School. Warriors, love my Warriors. So I get on people's nerves about DC and my, I don't think about. I went to Spelman, but I actually rep my high school more than
Duke Ellington Performing Arts. Duke Ellington Performing Arts.
But it's DC. It's DC, so it's like it's got a little extra oomph on it.
Oh yeah.
But listen, I've got this event coming up at Ivy City Smokehouse on the 21st for Women's History Month. We're calling it like a Hers Day event. Me and one of my other business partners and one of my dear friends, and she's also the stylist for our show, Michel Lopez. You might see her. She styles Iyanla for Fix My Life. She travels with her. Michelle is she's fierce and she's just fierce. She's flying fierce.
All right.
And I'm funky and fabulous.
There you go.
That's how we are together. So anyway, we do something called this Hers Day kind of house party at the Ivy City Smokehouse, because we did her birthday party at Ivy City Smokehouse, and we just had such a bang-up good time with just people vibing. We had former mayor of Baltimore there, we had all this different collective of people, and we were just having a good time. And this is the best seafood in the city at Ivy City Smokehouse, I'm telling you. And we have a partner, Freedom Move, which is a car sharing place in DC. They're one of our business partners, and they decided to back and support whatever I do. And so we're like, we want to do this event where we want women to come and network, come and learn from each other, exchange with each other, build with each other, and also just to have a good, safe, fun time, eat the best seafood, have some nice drinks, So if you go on ivycitysmokehouse.com and click on the area for tickets, they're $20, but we also have, that's right, we have Miss Her, the lady DJ, Miss Her.
Oh, okay.
And again, this is all for my series I'm doing called Hers Day. where I'm celebrating and saluting
Yes.
other women all
Yeah.
across whatever.
I love it.
And everything we do has a give back component. Part of this is for a foundation called Off the Hook, which has several local beneficiaries that we give back to, and that's coming up in April, the big Off the Hook. But we always will give back because my causes are everything from breast cancer, domestic violence, education, blindness and special needs, which I have in my family, all that. So we're always giving back. There's always a get right, give back. To anything that we do.
I like Thursday is this Thursday?
Thursday is
the 21st.
20 for the actual big event in DC. But Thursday is every Thursday on my SiriusXM Heart and Soul show, where you'll hear it, which is 6 p.m. till 12 midnight, Monday through Friday. And in the second hour is on Thursdays. On Thursday, I salute a woman, tell you about a woman, and how to find her, just to connect with her, just to show some love. And I'll make sure I get you guys on. But you guys have to come and support this event. We have to support each other.
Absolutely.
You know, I could put you on the list, but I know you each got $20.
Absolutely.
That's right. Well, somebody you know has $20. I love it.
So my social media, I'm on Instagram a lot now as I'm building that audience, and I love that my engagement with the youth is really off the hook when you look at the analytics on Instagram. So that's why I'm devoting more time to it now. But it's at Ms. Michel Wright. That's MSMICHEL WRIGHT. But that is my name across all social media platforms. I try to keep it the same.
Okay. And is that on Facebook and
Yep, it's there at Twitter, Instagram, but again, I'm building on at Instagram thing.
Yes.
Oh, and I just got Darlene says she hears us. People I haven't really been like looking at the people that have been hearing and checking out stuff, but every now and then I've been seeing it. I called her name. I was like, oh, you knew about the show, whatever. Happy Thursday. Hey, Darlene. Hey, Kevin Glover. Hi, KG. Hey, everybody who's on. Thursday. We salute, we support women because it is important that we support each other. Oh, the hashtag for my events are always better together because we are.
I love
that. Can't get no writer. Thank you guys.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you guys.
I have to give a shout out to, this is my brother, all the way in Seattle, is going bananas over some Michel Wright.
What's your brother's name? What's your brother's name?
Kevin Glover. He is going bananas.
Kevin Glover, turn this around. Let me see it.
My phone just died. My phone just died.
Kevin Glover,
I keep looking down. I'm like,
Kevin Glover, slide in my DMs, baby.
Going bananas.
That's right.
All the way in Seattle.
Yeah, they have a lot of
Amazing.
in Seattle, Vegas, and California.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, oh my
Yes.
gosh.
We are so happy that you all
Did we run over time?
I know. We can do this for another hour with you all. We are so excited.
I need to go hear some music. I need to go hear some
I
music.
know. Well, wait a minute. Okay, so we have a few minutes.
That's right.
So
Sing us out.
Somebody owes us a few melodies or something.
Give us some song.
Come on.
Give us a song.
I don't know what to say. This is the worst.
Just do Shaka Khan together. Something like
Do Shuga or something.
Y'all know you got plenty stuff
Do
to
Shuga or
just roll
something.
out.
Do. Well, what's the woman's anthem? What's the woman's song? Come on, we got.
What's a woman's anthem?
This is go-go town. This is go-go town. Let's get a beat going.
That ain't right. I got something.
Totally just drawing a blank.
Are you?
I'm trying to think of something.
Shaka.
Okay. Shaka. Okay.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Captured effortlessly. That's the way it was. Happened so naturally. I didn't know it was love. The next thing I felt was you holding me close.
Say what?
What was I gonna do? I let myself go. Now we're flying through the stars. Hope this night will last forever.
I'm gonna cut you the third verse.
There you go.
I wait for nighttime to come to bring you to me.
All right.
I can't believe I'm the one. I was so lonely. I feel like no one could feel. I must be dreaming. I want this dream to be real. I'm in this feeling. I make my wish upon a star. Hope this night will last forever.
It's time for us, y'all.
Ain't nobody.
We all got scared. We got scared.
Makes me feel this way. Ain't nobody loves me better.
Yeah. Put your arms around me.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, love you all.
Somebody over there got an ear.
Thank you.
Never.
That was back
Never
day.
give up.
I know, right? I throw it in when I need
There you go. There you go.
This
Keep
was
it
fun.
greasy. Keep it greasy.
So again, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
And let them know where they can reach
Yes,
us. And you all are fans. We're fans. You're fans. Everybody, we connected now.
We're
Once you
family
on the
now.
show, you stuck with us.
That's
so.
it. You
Hashtag better together.
That's right.
Hashtag hers day.
Hers day.
Hashtag the right moments. Hashtag can't get no righter. Hashtag get right.
But Jeannie already found out. We will have each and every one of you all's information on our Facebook page, our web page, all of which is under girlsgabbin.com. That's GIRLSGABBEIN.com, and it's on Instagram as well. I done learned from you today. I
Fill it out. Make sure they're right.
Make sure I learned from you today.
Yes.
And, we will definitely. It was a pleasure to have you all. And thank you enough.
Thank you
Plan
for
to
having
stay
us.
connected.
This was fun.
Yes.
This was
Yes.
fun. Like,
Yes.
it was so
Thank
good
you.
to hear from you. I was like, Lisa inbox. I was like, something wrong? What's wrong?
I know. I was like, can you give me a call back, please? I
was like, is this an emergency? Do I need to call you back tonight? Or can I call you
Right.
tomorrow?
I was like,
Thank
relax
you.
tonight, but definitely tomorrow. I need you to call me back. But no, and please keep tuning in to Girls Gabbin every Sunday,
From
7 to 8 on WinDC Radio, powered by Go Win Media. Because all month long, we're still in the Wonderment of the Woman series of Girls Gabbin. So we're bringing on some dynamic people every Sunday. Through March. Well, every Sunday throughout the year.
Yeah.
But this is about the women. We will be focusing on the men in June, because I know sometimes they'll come in and say, well, what about us? So June is going to be dedicated to the men, and it's going to be all men in the studio. So.
This was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I mean, I got the message from when Tanya had or Na had called me about the show and just said wished us a good show, and she said, "I'm Michel on the show." Then she said, "I got Jeannie on the show." Oh my goodness! And I said, "Yeah." And then we got Shuga, Shang, and Alisha. She said, "Oh my goodness!" And I'm at Black Girls Rock, and I said, "Yeah, we rocking over here."
Watch the replay. Watch
Wish
the
you could
replay.
be
You guys can. We can replay this, right?
Absolutely on
our Facebook
YouTube.
page.
Okay.
And
It's
when
all-
DC,
okay.
yeah, and when DC's page as
All
well.
right.
So, and we actually will share it on our Girls Gabbin page and our personal pages as well. So,
Thank you.
I'll share it
yeah,
after
you're
you.
stuck like
Yeah.
glue now. So,
Thank you.
Thank you,
we
ladies.
appreciate
Yes,
you.
sure.
Thank you all so much.
That was awesome. Oh my God. My phone died like right at the end.
But that's good. You got all the way.
You want to use your camera?
Oh yes. And we got another show coming.